hope you're having an amazing day. It's your girl, Alexis from Chic Soul. I just wanted to get on and do a cute little makeup tutorial for you guys. This one is going to be an everyday tutorial, but it comes with a little bit of a twist. We're going to be doing rustic fall vibes. So I'm going to be pulling out all the stops, but we're going to be doing it in an everyday fashion. So just go ahead, grab a snack. Later on I'm going to show you guys how I style my outfit with the makeup. So let's get right into it. So I normally start with my eyes. So I'm going to be using the Warrior 2 palette by Juvia's Place. And basically I prime with my concealer. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. So let me just go ahead and prime my eyes real quick. Now I'm just going to take my sponge and just go ahead and pounce that out. God, this sponge smells so good. The makeup spray. That's a tip, you guys. If you want to feel, relaxed and good, just spray your sponge with some setting spray that smells good. Get you in a good mood. Okay, our eyes are nice and primed. I'm going to go ahead and start with eyeshadow. So like I said earlier, I'm taking the Warrior 2 palette. This one, y'all, is so pretty. Everyday, but fall vibes, So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to take the shade Yodit right here. And I am just going to put this all over my eyelid just to set the powder. And I like to tap it on because whenever I tap it on, I feel like it makes my eyelid just like a canvas, a blank canvas. So I have like upturned hooded eyes, which means that anytime that I look up and I put on eyeshadow, it might crease a little because I have the slightest little amount of hood on my eye. So that's a tip for people that have hooded eyes. If you want your eyeshadow to not crease, just set it with a powder. It doesn't have to be a colored powder. You could use a translucent one. It's up to you. Okay, now that we are nice and primed, I'm going to go into the shade Kufuru right here. It's a really pretty, like burnt dark brown. And it is a neutral color. So you could use this now or even during the fall. It's perfect transitional color. And this is every day, so I'm not really patting it on. I don't want like a whole lot of color, but I do want you to see it. So I'm starting with a pat and then blending it from there. So just a tip for those that like to do their eyeshadow. If you want your eyeshadow to really pop, pat the colors on because it gives you more coverage. So if you want less coverage, you can blend and swipe. But if you want more coverage, you want to pat the color on. That actually works the same for your face too. We'll get into that later. Alrighty, so we have that color on, looking a little bit smoky, just a little bit, just a tad. And I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm going to go into the shade Zama, which is this orange right here, and I'm going to mix it with the shade Jamanta because that is going to give me, just watch, burnt, rustic vibes. And I'm going above the brown we just did. I'm doing it pretty light too because, every day. It just blends it so seamlessly though. Beautiful. Okay, we have one more thing and then we're going to be done because this is every day. You don't want to take that much time. Who else doesn't really like putting their makeup on in the morning? I get so tired. I'm like, ugh. But then later on, you put it on and you're like, oh, okay, it was worth it. The time was worth it. Let me know down below how long it takes you to do your makeup in the morning because I'm very interested in that. I'm going to take the shade Zama and I have a flat shader brush right here and I'm just going to put it on my lid. And I'm going a little bit above my natural lid line because as I mentioned earlier, I do have a bit of a hooded eye. So I want you to see the color. So I'm going just a little bit above. And I'm patting it on. Why? Because I want more coverage. Yay! color is so pretty. I love it. And I'm patting on the side of this color so that we don't get like a super harsh line. And there we go, you guys. Eyeshadow is done. How long was that? 5 minutes? I don't know. I try not to take too long with eyeshadow. So I have eyelash extensions. Just addressing that right now. I'm going to brush them out. You do not have to get extensions to feel pretty. I just like them because it's convenient. Because like I just said, I don't like getting up in the morning and putting on makeup every day. So, to make it easier, I have extensions. You do not have to have extensions to feel pretty. Your natural lashes are pretty too. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. Just brushing these out so they don't look like spiders, you know? We don't want that. Okay, so I'm done on that front. Again, let me just show you a mascara that I love that makes my lashes look like false lashes. This is the Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. It is $5. $5. And the best mascara I've ever used in my entire life. You can get it at Ulta. It's so good. I'm going to put this on my bottom lashes. I'm not going to put it on the top ones. So I'm going to put the other side on. And there we have it. Pretty simple. So we are done with eyes. I'm going to do my brows. And I don't really have much to do on my brows. I'd like to thank my mother for that. I really just brush them out and put a little bit of product in there. But I do want to show you a pencil that I use for like times like these where I don't really have much of a shape going because I can't get my brows done that often. So this is the Mented Take a Brow Highbrow Precision Pencil. And I just like brush it through. And then because I like more of like a feathered look, I like go underneath. And I only do the bottom. And then I brush it through like this. So it gives me shape, right? But it also gives me like the tiniest bit of color, which is what you want. This is like my everyday brow. You don't have to do this. But if you want like a feathered brow, this is usually the way I do it. And sometimes if I see like a few like bald spots, I'll just go through with the pencil and fill that in. Now this side. That may not have looked like it did anything to you, and I'm so sorry. But it looks like it to me. Just a little bit. Like I said, every day, you know? I just want to shout out to the people that do a full glam every day. Y'all are amazing. Pop off. Live your life. I cannot. I get up in the morning, I'm like, I shall do very little. Also, it's like summer transitioning into fall, which means it's not fall yet, so it's still hot. So I don't want to wear a lot of makeup because it's hot outside. And for those of you that don't really get a fall, I know you feel my pain. There we go, y'all. There we go. Feathered. Beautiful, right? Love it. Very natural. And now, to make that look even better, I'm going to use the Gimme Brow. This is like mascara, but for your brows. And I use this shade number 6, which is the darkest shade, because I like dark brows. And I start like on the middle of my brow and towards the end because I want more coverage on the back side of my brow. And so then whatever's left on there, I take it to the front. So I don't want like super stark brows. There we have it. Nice and shaped. Same thing on this side. There we go. Love it. So these are, I have bangs, so let me just move those. So now we're going to move into moisturizer and primer, which, if you ask me, is the most important part of your foundation routine. Moisturizer is perfect because throughout the day, you need to make sure your skin is looking good underneath. So if you don't put any on, you're not hydrated. So that just, I have combination skin. If I don't put any moisturizer on, I look like a sponge. And the dry one, not the one that you put underwater, we don't want that. So for my oily skin peeps, let's chat. So I've been told several times, if you have oily skin, you don't put on moisturizer. That's incorrect. You just put on one like this, which is a gel-based moisturizer. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. Now, if you have dry skin, you could use like a lotion-based or cream-based. If you have oily skin, you still need to put on moisturizer, because if you don't, then you actually produce more oil. I know, right? Not good. So, oily skin, gel moisturizer. Dry skin, cream-based moisturizer. Everybody needs moisturizer in their lives, because all of our skin matters. This is the Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. I got this because of Kim. You guys know Kim. We love her. I got this because she was like, oh, it like seriously fills in my pores. Oh, it does. It does. Let me just show you the difference on one side. I've got some breakouts. I'm really sorry about that. I'll just put this over it so you guys can see even what it does for that. I'm putting this like all over. Even though it says poreless, there's pores all over. Why not put it all over? Okay, so if you have dry skin, they do make one that is a hydrating version. And if you have super duper oily skin, they have one for matte as well. They have one for everybody. And it's so cheap. I love it. Okay. Now we're going to go into the Uma Beauty foundation. This is the Say What Weightless Foundation. Hold on. Let me say that again. This is the Say What? There we go. That's the right way to say it. Weightless foundation. This is soft matte, so perfect for combination skin. Oh, it pumped right. The first time it pumped everywhere. It's so bad. I'm using a beauty blender. This one was limited edition, so you can't get this one, but they do have several colors you can choose from. And let me explain. This is a shade darker than my actual face shade. I do this because, you can't tell, my neck is darker, right? But also, when I put on foundation and I have to do photo shoots, it just makes sense for me to put on one that's a little bit darker and then use a concealer that's my shade, because then when I take a picture, it looks like, oh, like her skin is like, wow. If I put one on that's a little bit lighter, then it looks like not my shade, and we don't want that. And so that's a little tip for those that do makeup every day. If you want your foundation to really look like it's blended, then you can get one that's a little bit darker, and then your concealer can be your actual skin tone. So I have bangs, so whatever is left on the sponge, I'm just going to take up here. I'm not going to put another pump up there. Also, I get super oily on my forehead, so I'm just taking this with a little bit of product so I don't get a lot of oiliness up there. And I'm just going to drag it down to my neck. Don't neglect your neck. That is a super important part. When I first started wearing foundation, and I would like do clients, and then we would go take pictures, and you would see like a serious line of demarcation, and I was like, I'm gonna need a brush. Let me just fix that. So just make sure you take it down your neck. It's so important. I would be breaking out when I have to do a makeup tutorial. Like, seriously. Okay, now that we are nice and foundationed, I'm going to use the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer. I used that earlier, so you did see it on my eyes, but now we're going to see it on my face. And here's a tip for those that want a little bit more coverage from your concealer. If you let it sit on your face, I do like 30 seconds to a minute, it actually gives you more coverage. And that's with pretty much anything with makeup. If you put it on your face and let it sit, it will give you more coverage. And I'm putting it in like the highlighted areas. So my nose, my forehead, my chin, under my eyes. Now we're going to go into my favorite part. This is baking. We're using the flour powder from Beauty Bakery. And I am going to bake under my eyes as well as set the rest of my face with the same powder. So I take it on a damp sponge. And I'm just going to go ahead and bake under my eyes. Taking a little brush, I'll take what's in the cap right here, swirl it around, and I'm going to set my face with all of this powder. So I don't want flashback whenever I take photos, so I usually use a powder that has a color to it. That way when it flashes back a color, versus if I use a translucent powder, it might come back a little, depending on the translucent, if it's actually translucent or if it's got like a little bit of a tint to it. Just depends. So I like to use a colored powder for that reason. We're still baking. I'm going to give it a second and just keep setting my face. Okay. Now I'm going to brush off this powder. And you get a double whammy with baking. So the thing that I like about baking is that I can put baking powder on with my concealer and it looks like I got 8 hours of sleep, the average adult hours. I did not, but you can't tell because I baked. And also on top of that, you have with your eyeshadow, I feel like it's just easier to clean it up with baking because you can put it in the exact area that you want it to and then brush it off and you got like a clean line. Quality. We love it. Okay, so I'm going to be using the True Complexion contour palette. This one is in the shade Dark to Deep, and I like this a lot. They do have a couple colors in this, so if you think this one's too dark, they have another one. You probably could find your color in this one. I'm going to be using Contour and Sculpt out of this palette. And I have like a round face, and the average American way of looking at faces is actually the oval shape, and people find that the most attractive apparently. So I like to form my face to look oval, and so if you've ever looked at like a tutorial and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna contour an oval shape, let me show you how to do it. So you go on your cheek line, right? You go a little bit above your natural cheek line. If you want to figure out how to find your jawline, go right here. Find the hollow of your cheekbone. The hollow. That's where you go a little bit above that. That's where you want to contour. So I start there. And then I'm going to go up here on my forehead and just go around it. Now, if you have a smaller forehead, you can do this. You don't have to, though. And then you go on the jawline. And I go like above my chin. Like right below my like normal face. And then I bring it down. So now I'm gonna do this side. I'm gonna tap it off. We don't need all that product. Gotta lift the hair. You want it like on the hairline though. That way it matches. I do it like right on the chin. Okay. I see a little powder on my forehead. And then I'm gonna clean it up a little bit with my sponge just to really snatch the face. You do not have to do this for every day. I'm just showing out right now. You really don't. I don't do this every day. You don't have to do this every day. And take that brush that we were using, and to make sure it's not like too harsh, just cross over. Just blend that a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna go into my favorite part, which is bronzer. Shout out to bronzer. It's also summertime, so we want it to be like, you know, a little bit more bronze. And to me, when we transition into fall, especially, you'll see my outfit, but the bronzer, just like, it meshes, you know? Summer and fall, you can get away with a lot of bronzer. Winter, you want like more cool tone shades, but summer and fall, it's time to show out with the bronzer. And we're gonna do just that. This is the Fenty Beauty Mocha Mommy bronzer. They have, I think, like 5 or 6 shades of these. And you can put in your foundation shade and then they match you with the bronzer. How cool is that? I was like, oh, I don't know what color to pick. Put in my foundation shade, they gave it to me. I'm gonna put it on my nose as well. We are done with bronzer. Now I'm gonna take blush. This is the Saharan Blush Volume 1 palette. Let's just, drum roll please. Ah, it's so pretty. Ah, it's so pretty. Okay, so I love every color in here. They look intimidating, but I promise they're not. You can go ham with these. You don't have to though. So I'm gonna take it every day. Normally, I love blush, so I would wear all of these colors on my face at the exact same time. You don't have to do that though. I'm gonna take Neo and Toby. They do have another palette like this. It's called the Saharan Blush Volume 2, and it is for lighter skin tones. So if you look at this and you're like, girl, this is not gonna match my skin tone. That's not gonna work. I promise you. They have another one, and it works. I like this because it's transitional. Like, you can wear this, like, all these colors. This is, like, every season in a palette. It's got, like, a little highlighter. This one's supposed to be more, like, everyday highlighter. And this one is, like, bam. That's, like, glam highlighter. So, again, mixing the two of those, putting them on my cheeks. I'm so excited. Oh, I just love blush. So something that I do on my face is to put a little bit like on my nose and have it like through here. So it just looks like blushing and like cute. I think that's so cute. You don't have to do that. But I feel like, especially in the fall, you know, it's like getting cold and you look like you're like frostbitten. That's what we want. Like just the tiniest bit of blush on the nose. Now, if I was at home and I didn't have anywhere to go and I was just playing in makeup, I'd probably put this, a lot of it. But I think for every day, we want it to be more subdued. Now we're going to go into highlighter. I know I said the blush was my favorite part. Actually, my favorite part is highlighter. Let's just forget I said that, because I'm going to use this color right here. This is the shade Highlight from the same True Complexion palette. And I'm just going to put this on my cheeks, and we're all going to scream, because highlighter is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, moment of silence. Oh my gosh. I put it on my nose especially because you want to draw attention to the center of your face. So I always put it on my nose. Here. And put a little bit more. Okay. Yay for highlighter. And to make this face just look seamless, I'm going to use the Sweet Grace Baking Spray from Beauty Bakery. This is the best part. This is usually when I do affirmations to myself. For example, I normally start in the mornings. I put this on and I'm like, I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am deserving of love. It's just a good way to get the day started well. You don't have to do that, but it just makes my day a little bit better. Before it's completely dry, I take the sponge, the side without powder on it, and I'm going to just set this in, because you want to make sure it's like really in the skin. So just take the sponge and go over everything. Just really get it in there. And now is the time to assess anything on your face if you feel like you need more. And for me, because I like a lot of blush, I'm going to put a little bit more blush on and a little bit more highlighter. That's it. But I'm just going to use what's on the brush. And highlight. Always more highlight. Okay. Now we're going to do lips. And for every day, I like more of like a natural, glowy lip. I think some people prefer matte for the fall per se, but I see no problem with gloss. And I think for every day, gloss is definitely the move. So I'm going to use the Iman Perfect Lip Pencil. This is in the shade Cocoa. So I'm going to line my lips, and then we're going to do lipstick on top, and then gloss. And then for lipstick, I'm using the Pat McGrath Sheer Color Balm in the shade Flesh 3. And it's just like a little wash of color. See? Nice. Just a little bit of color. It's not like a full-on lipstick. It's like a balm. And then on top of that, I'm going to be taking the Mented Lip Gloss. Okay. Yay! Y'all, I'm going to spray my face one more time. Okay, gonna adjust my bangs. Now I look like a human again. There we go. Yay. Okay. So I am going to put on an outfit to match the vibe of this look. So just keep watching to see what I put on, because I think you guys are really gonna like it. Alrighty, so I just changed into my outfit for the day. I'm wearing the Warm Feeling sweater from Chic Soul. It is so pretty. This one is in the color Rust, and we've had this one in a couple colors. I like this one the most right now because it's like an orange color, so perfect for the transition. I like that it is like a balloon sleeve. It is so comfy and super lightweight. You could even put this over a t-shirt for days in the office that you're feeling a little bit cold. I love it because even if you're in like a hotter climate, you can put this on and you feel like you're in the fall, but it's not too hot to wear. So you guys, let me know how you felt about this entire tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We love you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.